EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for January 27th, 2021. We have a lot to cover in this video here, and it's going to be mostly focused on what could happen late weekend and early next week. And it's going to get a lot of buzz from different sources here over the next couple days. I can almost guarantee it, because the models are going a little bit crazy in that time frame, and for not only a snow potential, but a bigger snow potential for some areas. And I'm just going to pump the brakes a little bit here with that, and I'm going to show you what the setup is for that and why it could happen and what can go wrong. I don't usually do this so much in the regular synoptic videos that we do every single day, and these are more weather weeklies related when we get a little bit more in depth in the discussion, but I will incorporate some of that here in this video today. This is the GFS depiction of today. We're going to have partly to mostly cloudy skies during the day today, and it's going to be rather seasonable. Temperatures somewhat near average, maybe within a degree or two of average. And then as this system here passes off to our south overnight, we're expecting mostly cloudy skies. There will be some snow across Virginia and North Carolina from this. This is not going to affect our region, as some models were indicating earlier in the week. So this will stay off to our south and east and just slide off to the east, and we're just going to be left with clouds overnight. Then any early morning clouds on Thursday will give way to partly cloudy skies. It will become breezy and will be turning much colder for the next couple of days, as we have a lot of cold air coming in behind this system. Even though it's missing, it's going to drag a lot of cold air in here behind it. And we'll have temperatures that are going to be below freezing in many areas for at least 3 consecutive days, but maybe longer than that. But the core of this is going to come in here on Friday. So this is looking at Thursday morning. As we move forward from this point to Friday, we have an upper level low that is sitting over northern New England at this point, and we're going to be really cold here on Friday and still breezy. Temperatures are going to be stuck in the 20s in most locations, maybe even some teens far north for highs and single-digit lows. So it's going to be pretty cold. I don't think it's single digits further south. I think we're going to be, once you get south of I-78, you're probably in the teens there, but just along and north of there, you could be about 10 degrees or below on both nights. So it's going to be pretty cold over the next couple of days after today, and that cold's going to extend into Saturday, although this trough is going to start lifting out a little bit come Saturday. Now, after that point, we have a storm system approaching the region. This is a rather potent system, and it's still modeled to be so on today's runs. Again, yesterday's video I talked about this and how the track would have to be just right, and this could, given the recent trends of things that have storm systems that have affected the area or missed the area, they have been rather weak. Okay, have been modeled to be a lot stronger once we get out to 4 or 5 days in advance, and then as we got closer, it kind of just fizzled. Such was the case yesterday with yesterday's system. Okay, so that kind of fizzled as time went on, but this one is still holding together, and you have a primary low that's going to be coming at us that is expected to redevelop again. So we have some snow here on the GFS run. This is the most recent run this evening, showing some snow coming in during the afternoon on Sunday. Now, there's modeling timing differences between the model, depending on which model you're looking at, but we're using the GFS for reference here because they have the same general idea from model to model. They're just handling it a little bit differently as far as timing is concerned and the exact evolution. That can be expected at this range. But there is an opportunity for snow to come in here either Sunday afternoon or evening and going through the night. Might be some mixing and changing over to rain further south, according to the GFS here. And then this low gets wrapped up here along the coastline and kind of just sits there and stalls almost for over 24 hours. So you got just an onslaught of snow just continuing with this particular GFS run going all the way through Monday and into Tuesday here before it just finally starts to pull away. So this is a very long duration thing. Again, this is the GFS depiction here, not exactly how the European model is handling this. It's close, similar idea, but there's a little bit of slight differences and variations between the model output here with this. So I don't want to get anybody excited thinking, wow, we're going to get 2 or 3 straight days of snow here. Probably not. Not impossible, but probably not. But there's going to be some kind of what looks like a transfer to a coastal low that's just going to kind of sit here and meander and produce the opportunity for snow here over that goes right into at least Monday, maybe even longer than that, into Tuesday morning. And our local forecasts do indicate that. So how did the model come up with this kind of solution here? Well, if you look at the 500 millibar map, this is looking at Friday morning, and taking this verbatim, we have an upper level low over New England at this time. The key to this whole thing is a Rossby wave that's actually over Eastern Asia or the Northwest Pacific that's going to force ridging. There's ridging in between here. This ridging is going to be forced eastward. Okay, so it builds eastward like this. So right now, when you're looking at this as a snapshot, this right here, this is a positive Eastern Pacific oscillation. So this is not really good for getting cold air into the United States and the cross-polar flow and all that stuff. So from this whole mess here, this system right here, right near California, is our eventual storm. It's going to break off and head eastward across the country, kind of like this. You have another piece up here. Part of this whole positive EPO complex is going to break off and head in this region. So that will disrupt the current negative NAO, which is our blocking up here. All right. So what this is going to do, by this ridging that's out here in the North Pacific moving out in this direction, it's going to force this further south. Okay. And as this ejects eastward at the same time. So one thing way out here, actually in the other side of the globe, basically, one thing changing is changing everything else downstream, and that's what's going on here. So as I move this forward, we're going to see this in action here. You have one piece ejecting off the EPO here. This is forced south because you have very strong ridging building into the Aleutians. Here's our storm ejecting eastward at the same time. Okay, continuing forward. Here it is again. Now, what happens here, since this strong ridging is building into the Aleutians and western Alaska, and this storm is pushing off south, you get a very high amplitude pattern here. Very high amplitude, like this, which is going to give us an assist with this system here on the East Coast, and that's why it is a plausible idea. Also, your NAO is disrupted this time. Instead of being strongly negative like it is now, it's going to be the NAO is going to be decaying somewhat because of this little feature right here that ejected eastward. Okay, because of this high amplitude pattern, you get ridging out into the Rockies, and this is a long wave ridge axis over the Rockies that gives us the assist downstream to get this big deep trough here over our area. It's a perfectly timed situation. So for this to be exactly right, yes, it could produce something like that, and you can see that here. The problem is getting these features, every single one of these features to be exactly where this is projected here at this range is tough. Not impossible, but it's tough. There's a lot of things that have to play together nicely in order to get this. So for this to show something like this, where you have this system coming at us and it's snow and then it redevelops and then it kind of just sits there and spins, it's plausible, but everything has to line up perfectly for that to happen. And there's a lot of, so I just showed you, it's a lot of things that have to go right. Now, one thing does have a downstream effect on everything else, but the most important parts of that are the decaying negative NAO, which we can see here. It's negative here around our too far negative for this storm here on Thursday, which keeps it south. But right around our storm time frame, it starts to rise to about negative 0.5 standard deviations below average. Okay, so it's still rising. It goes from -2 to about -0.5. So this is a decaying negative NAO in combination with this strong a long wave ridge axis over the Rockies. Okay, so this whole thing sets everything else up. So there's a lot of things that are going to go into this, a lot of changes over the next couple of days you're going to see. And I just don't latch on any snow maps. Are going to be useless right now. There's a lot of potential here with this, but we've seen things change very quickly over the past 7 to 10 days, and this could be another one of those situations here. All right? So just continue to follow this throughout the week. We will do so also and give you the latest information we have here, but there is the potential for a significant snowfall out of this if everything lines up perfectly. So don't get too excited about it just yet. All right? Good chance that we get some kind of snow out of it at least. Is it going to be a big snowstorm or just something small, minor? Both on the table. Something staying further to the south is also on the table and missing mostly. I won't say altogether, but I would think a mostly south system might be still on the table as well. I'm not taking anything off the table right now, but in this whole time frame that goes right through the end of our 7-day period, beginning on Sunday, going right through Tuesday, we have this opportunity for some snow that could be a longer duration event if everything works out correctly. So follow us throughout the week. We'll have additional updates each day as we have it, but just don't get too excited about a big storm just yet until we get a lot closer to this, and that's probably going to be closer to Friday before we get any kind of real, a really higher confidence for this to work out. And if this all lines up perfectly, we could have a good storm out of it, but we have to just wait and see how this evolves in the next couple of days. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 27th, 2021. Have a great Wednesday.